Hi guys, so in this video we're going to be looking at Bitcoin. It's like a follow-up video of my previous video on cryptocurrencies. So before we get into what is Bitcoin and all of that, let's look at the idea of coming into Bitcoin first. So initially in the early days, you had something like gold. People start considering gold as that value. It was considered, okay, if I give you gold, you can give me things. Carrying around gold is hard because you have the possibility of theft. And you also, it's hard because you have to carry 1 bar of gold, which is like heavy. What people did was they brought in something which was paper money, which is equivalent to the gold, the amount of gold that you had. Now, once that process took some time, gold was eliminated, it was out of the picture. Then governments were formed and then they created their own fiat money. That's gave birth to the fiat money. Now, it was like you had this paper which was said $100 or 100 rupees or whatever it was. You had something which said that it is after all just a paper, but you trusted on that because it was backed up by something as big as that government of that country. Over time, we had that revolution of digital money, which is more like you had paper money, which is physical money, but you had the birth of PayPal, credit card, debit card, UPI, such things, and you had internet transactions, net banking, which was just digital money going from your account to that recipient's account. But over time, this gave birth to a lot of stuff, but this was always behind or backed by central authority. Yeah, it was centralized and it was not transparent because whatever was happening, although you could know that what was happening in your account, you can't know what is happening in somebody else's account. If they're cheating or something like that is happening, it was not transparent. Only the banks in their system knew about it. This came to giving birth to something which wanted people to have a decentralized authority and also something which was transparent. Now, there were a lot of things that came across trying to solve these two problems, but there was always this problem of double spending, which is, let's say you have created your digital money. It's like a file after all. Now, let's say that file equals to $1. Now, what stops people from transferring it or just copy pasting it, that file, multiple duplicates, like 1,000,000 times, and then I have $1 million. So this problem, which was double spending problem, which was only solved when you had a physical authority or a centralized bank which could like cross verify and say, okay, this person has only this much amount. It's not possible for them to have more amount. So not possible. Unless until there was a transaction, okay, this transaction occurred, so they have this much amount. So this was the double spending problem. And now this problem was solved by Bitcoin, which looked into three major issues: double spending, not centralized, decentralized, and it was transparent. These three gave rise to cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin, the first ever cryptocurrency created. So it is what happened was in 2008, October 31st, 2008, after the global financial crisis which took place, and the Lehman Brothers, the biggest investment bank, said that, okay, we have gone bankrupt. A pseudo-anonymous person or a group of people under the name Satoshi Nakamoto released the Bitcoin white paper, which was like the big thing. It's not the big white paper, it's just 9 pages long, simple and easy for you to understand. And if ever you guys want me to explain it, do put in the comments. I'll create another video and I'll explain the Bitcoin white paper, which is called as a Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It was a white paper proposed a new electronic cash system. Now, what this was trying to make was that covering all the three technology problems which was majorly faced by. Now, this became the head news, and on 3rd January 2009, it came into existence. Bitcoin as a currency, the small b, came into the world. Now, the first time Bitcoin ever was made into a transaction was made in January 12th, 2009, where 10 Bitcoins was transferred from one person to another. But this was just simple transfer, like just sending your file from one person to another. It was not real-time use. But real-time, it was used in 2010 when a programmer named Laszlo Hanyecz, he bought 2 Papa John's pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. He asked people, he's like, I'll give you 10,000 Bitcoins, you give me 2 Papa John's pizza. Now, at that point of time, 10,000 bitcoins was not a lot of it. But now, if you take that 10,000 bitcoin and now looking at this price, which is currently at $36,690, take 10,000 bitcoins of that, it will make you huge. Okay. Now, this is when Bitcoin was born and all of that was taking place. Over the time, Bitcoin started to rise as this money. People started to consider, okay, now this is something big. That's how it took place. So let's look at the roadmap so that you can understand it simple. So the white paper, which was published in October 2008, it was given by a group or one person called Satoshi Nakamoto under the pseudonym. And then the Genesis block, which is mined. The first time Bitcoin Genesis block was mined in January 2009. Now, you guys can go and read about this. I'm not going to explain each and every technical term out here. We're just going to look at what is Bitcoin in simple terms so that it's easy for everyone to understand. Because Bitcoin is like one of the most searched terms according to Google search engine. So Bitcoin is the world's first decentralized cryptocurrency, a type of digital asset that uses public key cryptography to record, sign, and send transactions over the Bitcoin blockchain, all done without the oversight of a central authority. Now, what's public key cryptography? Because it's really important that you understand this. So, public key cryptography is kind of a cryptography method. It's also called as a RSA cryptography kind of method, where let's say you have your original data. You have two keys, a public key and a private key. It's called the public key pair. If anybody wants to send you a particular data, they want to encrypt it and give it to you. So what they would do, you can share your public key to anyone, okay? Now what they'll do is they have the data, they'll use your public key, scramble data, some encryption takes place there. Now once anybody encrypts it and they can send it to anyone, literally anyone, including you, nobody can access it. Because why is it is, your private key and your public key have kind of a pair, so that only the scrambled data can be unlocked only using that private key that you have. So it's important that you don't give your private key to anyone. You can give your public key to anyone, which does the encryption, and your private key does the decryption. That's what this image out here is trying to explain. Now, a Bitcoin network, which is the uppercase B, was launched in 2009 by an anonymous computer programmer or a group of programmers, and they went under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, the network is a peer-to-peer electronic payment system. It uses a cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the cryptocurrency which is used, which is by small b. The uppercase B is the network which is there. Now, each Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. So it is like the smallest unit of Bitcoin. And this develops it. Now, you can see, like, when you go to the CoinDesk website, okay, I'll put the link in the description. Like, all the websites that we are looking out here in this video will be there in the description. So you can go ahead and can learn about what they are. Okay, now this is the CoinDesk website. You can go to Wikipedia, the all-time legend, Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, and read about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like a decentralized currency without a central bank which is being present there, and all of it, whatever I've told to you right now. You can go ahead and you can look at the white paper, which is easily available. I'll put the link in the description so you can go and download it. You can read it by yourself, but you can't access it anywhere. But you can simply search for it on Google and ask for the Bitcoin white paper. You'll be able to find a lot of PDFs which explain it and all. So this is the PDF. It's just 9 pages long, simple and easy to understand. And so this is what is there about Bitcoin. And you have a lot of things about the Bitcoin. You'll be able to understand it by researching about it more. But this is as a whole about what is Bitcoin. So thanks a lot for watching. Hope you guys have gained some knowledge out of this. See you guys in the next video.